Hello everybody and welcome to the last video of the lab. Today I will be talking about biogeography in the biogeography lab, last lab. The lab objectives is to learn how habitat size affects community diversity and colonization, to learn how habitat distance affects community diversity and colonization, and to learn how habitat size and distance impacts the likelihood of extinction, and to learn basic understanding of biogeography principles. So biogeography is the study of patterns of species composite and diversity across geographic locations. Endemic species are those that occur in a particular geographic location and nowhere else on Earth. Members of the community depend on regional species pools, diversity, dispersal availability, abiotic conditions, species interactions. So you see on the image on the slide that it starts with the regional species pool, and then the ones that are able to disperse or immigrate are the ones that go right under that, which is a lot smaller of a population. And then abiotics kill off some of those, so there's only so many left, and then species interactions take out a few, leaving only 3 species left. So an island is any kind of isolated area surrounded by dissimilar habitat. So it could be actual islands, the ones we think of. It can be alpine zones, so top of mountains or islands. You have pools or ponds. Those are considered islands. And you have isolated forests, as in the one in the image on below. The way animals get from one island to the other is through dispersal. Can be passive or active dispersal. So you have aerial, active, aerial, passive, then passive aquatic, passive active, or aquatic active. All display the same basic patterns. So a large island will have more species than a small island, and a strong negative relationship to distance from a source of a species. So the further you are from mainland, the less likely you are to get more dispersal. So species diversity equals immigration minus extinction. The larger the area, the higher number of species richness. What could affect this? Decrease extinction risks or increase colonization. So the further from the species source, the lower the species richness. What could affect this? Increased extinction risk or decreased colonization. And then we have graphs on the side here that's showing you that increased distance and on a scale from increased distance and a scale from species richness, that there's a negative relationship. And then on a scale from area size to species richness, there's a positive relationship. So, equilibrium theory of island biography. MacArthur and Williams developed a theoretical model called the equilibrium theory of island biogeography. The number of species on an island depends on the balance between immigration and dispersal rates and extinction rates. And you get to see the graph right below it that shows the rate of colonization/extinction on one axis, and the number of species in the island on another axis. How both lines interact with each other to come to an equilibrium point in the middle. So for lab today, the materials will be 3 islands, quotations, of increasing size. So we have a 0.25 by 0.25 meter quadrant, we have a 0.5 by 0.5 quadrant, and we have a 1 meter by 1 meter quadrant. Each student will get 6 bug species. So you have little plastic bugs, and so 1 bug equals 1 species. There will be 5 distances, so 1, 2, 4, 6, and 8 meters. Each person will throw from 2 distances, or about 4 people per distance. Then each person at a given distance will try to get their bugs to land on all 3 islands. So you should land at 1 bug per island, try to throw 1 for the small one, 1 for the medium one, 1 for the big one, then switch distances, throw 1 each, repeat again. So you have 1 shot per quadrant. If it stays in the island, the quadrant, it's colonized, but if it hits it and bounces out, then it's not colonized.